Hi, this is Paul. I live in Spanaway, Washington, which is in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. I'm trying to be independent. I'm trying to use the sunlight to produce electrical power to run appliances with, to run a water pump with, to run a washing machine with, to run a microwave, television set, and other household devices. Now, solar power is intermittent. That means it's available when the sun is shining. When the batteries are being used, they're only being used for light loads, like my netbook PC and the wireless router and the cable modem and two LED lights that I have. When the sun is on and it's surplus power and the batteries are fully charged, and then there's more power available, I will run an air conditioner, I will run an electric chainsaw, I will run a microwave, vacuum cleaner, air conditioner, and a water pump during those times when the sun is out shining on those panels. Now, the way my yard is situating, it's south facing in the backyard, so everything you see is in my backyard. There's three racks that are ground mounted racks, and then there's a small Harbor Freight kit, and then there's two SunForce kits, which are the four amorphous panels, which have a PVC frame around them that came with a regulator and the wiring. Those were ones I bought earlier. The first one I bought was a Harbor Freight, and then I bought the two SunForce kits, and then I started buying panels off of eBay. I was trying to get name brand panels that were monocrystalline, knowing that those are the ones that last the longest and that are the best quality. The Siemens is the first four that I bought were the big ones, the Siemens 55 watts that I'm still using, which have performed quite well. There's a charge controller that's a pulse width modulator charge controller that regulates the amount of power that goes to the batteries. And then on the batteries I have an inverter that runs it's a 1500 watt sine inverter, and that's what I'm using to run all of my devices with. There's a large green tank. There's a 1,000-gallon poly tank in my yard, and then there's two 305-gallon poly tanks, black, that I'm using to store rainwater in. The downspouts that you normally see on houses that are the aluminum square downspouts, they've been replaced by pipes with a cap on the bottom, and then there's a garden hose fitting, and that's connected up to a five-way manifold. And then the five-way manifold joins the two corners of this side of the house, and then the two corners of this side of the house have another five-way manifold, and then there's a hose that goes and connects the two together. So all of the downspouts on my house and the four corners have been replaced by drainage pipe, which is the hollow core PVC 4-inch diameter, and then there's a ABS plastic sewer cap inserted on the bottoms drilled with a fitting that collects all the rainwater. The pressure from the top of the column of the pipes pushes the water down. And here in the Pacific Northwest where I live, I don't get a lot of heavy downpours. Most of the time it's drizzling or it's showering, so the water isn't spilling over the edges. So it's a better system for where I live because of the number of heavy downpours that we don't get in this area. Now, if you live in like Texas or somewhere in the south or in the southwest where you get real heavy downpours, I really wouldn't recommend doing what I've done. I would put a bigger diameter PVC pipe, and I build it an H around the perimeter of the house, and then route that into your holding tank from there. I'm neither a professional plumber, I'm not a licensed electrician, and I'm not a farmer. So I'm not an expert in any one of the three fields that you'll see on videos on this channel that I'm making. I'm trying to do is become more independent. I started this out because of the disasters that happened. Katrina was an inspiration, and I lost my power in one winter for 2 weeks, and that was another thing that got me started. And then I became vegetarian, and I wanted to eat better, more wholesome plant-based foods. And I've realized that growing my own food is something I like to do. I enjoy it, and the food tastes better. So that's a reason that. And the other one is emergency water. You never know when you need emergency water. If there was a fire and the fire hydrant didn't work and there wasn't enough water pressure to put the fire out, the local fire department could use the stored water in the tank for any kind of that if there was an emergency. So I'm not off the grid. I have municipal water and municipal and power that I buy, and then I have most of my food from the grocery store. But I'm trying to work towards being more and more and more independent. I'm taking baby steps. I'm doing it a little bit at a time, and as I'm doing it, I'm making these videos and posting them to show you out there what I'm doing, and maybe I can learn from you. Maybe you know a better way to do it, or you have a suggestion for me, and I know I've found a lot of other people that have done similar things and they've done it better than I have, and I've put a playlist together of those. And I'm hoping that what I do here is of value to others, that you can learn from my mistakes, and that the things that I share with you will help you out. Thank you for stopping by.